Our top story, Libya's opposition has told Colonel Muammar Gaddafi that if he leaves the country now, they won't put him on trial. Libyan state television has broadcast denials that Gaddafi offered to quit if his family was allowed to safely leave the country. Violence continues, meanwhile, in parts of Libya more than 3 weeks after the protests first erupted. RT's Paula Sleer has more from the capital, Tripoli.
On the one hand, we're hearing from opposition groups that Muammar Gaddafi is in talks with them. They say that he's asking for an opportunity to escape the country and that he's proposed a meeting of parliament to agree to a transition period to pave the way for him to leave. These opposition groups also saying that he wants immunity from criminal prosecution and permission to take out of the country large amounts of cash. Now, all of these reports have been rejected by Gaddafi. He has denied these kind of claims on state television. The opposition also saying that if he leaves now, they would not consider seeking prosecution through the International Court of Justice. But as I say, we're not hearing any confirmation of this. In fact, the exact opposite from the Gaddafi regime. It certainly does seem as if the Western media was a bit too quick to bury Gaddafi. Wherever you go here in the capital city, there are huge amounts of public support for him. This is a phenomenon that I explored by talking to people on the streets and ascertaining from them just how right, and in this case, just how wrong the foreign media were in reporting the story.
A warning on the streets of Tripoli.
I want to say to Al Jazeera, wake up, because you are in dreaming. No one can kill Muammar Gaddafi. All Libyan with Muammar Gaddafi.
At the heart of the criticism, reports that Gaddafi's warplanes bombed and killed dozens of protesters in the capital city.
Future of Libya appears to be on a knife edge. Fighter jets have been bombarding the capital, Tripoli, reportedly on the orders of leader Muammar Gaddafi.
Later on, they told us that Tripoli is bombed by Air Force and heavy guns or something like that. And completely it's not true.
The truth seems more to be a city going about its everyday business. These are hardly the pictures of a city on the brink of war.
Meanwhile, Libya's capital Tripoli is bracing for what could be another night of gunfire, explosions and fighting. Eyewitnesses say warplanes had been firing at opposition supporters from the air.
When we invited the foreign media to come to Tripoli and to Libya and to see and to watch and to send their reports to their channels, we noticed that the administration or management of their channels selected what they want from these reports and eliminate or delete what does not serve their purposes.
Which is why people here are angry. Mohammed's taken a few days off from his work as an engineer to join the throngs of Gaddafi supporters in downtown Green Square.
They're hiding this. What's going on now, okay? All the people are here, just to be supported for our leader, Muammar Gaddafi, okay? And they want to hide this.
But, say analysts, it's not just what's being hidden, it's also what's actually being said.
What we're getting is a pro-U.S., pro-Pentagon, one-sided picture of a situation which fills the media with the idea that there's freedom fighters involved in Libya and that there's a government regime that's been an atrocious terrorist government since 1970, roughly. This is nonsense.
Here, the Jazeera, you say I'm not in Tripoli. Maybe I'm in Afghanistan. Maybe I'm in Iraq.
The war is clearly not in Tripoli. And just as clearly, Western media has been a little too quick to write off Gaddafi. Paula Sleer, RT, Tripoli.
International pressure is mounting on Gaddafi, with the U.S. considering military intervention and the U.K. and France drafting a no-fly zone resolution for the UN. For more on this, we turn to RT's Gayane Chichikian live in Washington. Hello, Gayane. So there's a guessing game going on right now with foreign intervention. Will they, won't they? And now some embarrassing off-the-record remarks from officials about this. Tell us more.
Well, yeah, Matt, this whole scene has been recorded. Defense Secretary Robert Gates landed in Afghanistan, shook hands with the top U.S. man there, General David Petraeus, who greeted Mr. Gates at the airport, joking, quote, "Welcome back, sir. Flying a little bigger plane than normal. You gonna launch some attacks on Libya or something?" End of quote. The U.S. Defense Secretary responded to the comment by laughing and said, quote, "Yeah, exactly." Well, apparently, the two gentlemen were unaware of the open microphone. The world is now guessing whether that was just a joke or there was a kernel of truth in that joke. even if it were just a joke, with the situation in Libya critical and really verging on a full-fledged civil war, a lot of people thought that was a highly inappropriate joke. Mind you, this comes from America's top military men, although the official position of the U.S. is, in order to decide on a military intervention, they need the support of the international community. The UN and NATO are now weighing in on the possibility of declaring a no-fly zone over Libya. That would actually involve a large-scale military operation, including airstrikes on Libyan including strikes on Libyan air defenses and shooting down everything that flies over Libya. A vote on a no-fly zone could be hard to secure at the UN Security Council, where China, a permanent member, is really cool to the proposed no-fly zone, and Russia has made it very clear that any foreign military involvement would be unacceptable.
So, Gayane, what are the reasons of those who are against a possible intervention?
Well, Matt, look, here's the logic behind the statements made by some Western powers. We can't allow Gaddafi kill the rebels, so we need to give the rebels a chance and make the fight kind of even, because as things are now, Gaddafi's armor outweighs everything these rebels have. From Russia's perspective, for example, this kind of intervention, even with the best of intentions, usually leads to more deaths and destruction than if you let the countries deal with their problems on their own. Just this Monday, we heard reports that the U.S. asked Saudi Arabia if it can supply weapons to the rebels in Benghazi. If true, this could be really dangerous. History shows that the practice of arming the other side of a conflict not only does not stop the violence, but inflames it even more, especially if those arms end up in the hands of radicals. Americans themselves have estimated that Libya, especially the eastern part of the country, which is where the rebels have reportedly gained control, is home to a large number of jihadists. They make up a fifth of world's jihadists. It's enough to say that one of the rebel leaders in Benghazi was once Osama bin Laden's personal driver. And the question is, does the U.S. really want that kind of involvement?
All right, RT's Gayane Chikian live for us in Washington.